However, this person seems confident of winning. Students Kiam Lam in the stands saw this and immediately started discussing. They sent 5 players to participate, but after now only 1 is here. Suddenly, someone called out. It was said that they were secretly attacked by Fuang Sun's men and injured. Suddenly, a group of Kiam Lam students scolded him for being so vile. They shouted loudly, Fuang Sun is shady, requires strict inspection, and requires an apology. It's been such a mess for a while. Tu Lang Wei answered loudly next to him. Show me the evidence, don't spit blood on people. Student Kiam Lam ha ha laughed. I have witnessed Dai VM's injuries with my own eyes, can you still fake it? It's disgusting. Fuang Sun can't fight back then plays behind his back. Tu Lang Wei was so angry that the handrail next to her was instantly scratched by her. But student Kiam Lam added fuel to the fire. Look, she's also the type to say no then take action. As expected, the people of Fuang Sun have the same set of virtues as those named Tu. Tu Lang Wei was suddenly surprised. Could it be that Su's last name was Old Brother? Deep House group standing here heard the curses from all 4 directions and were a bit confused. Deep Hao turned to La Feng Thien Loi, who was alone, and suggested. Brother La, let's fight another day. We welcome another day to fight again. But La Feng Thien asked in return, are you afraid? Yen Din was not happy as soon as he heard it. Don't be mistaken, there are many of us bullying few people, winning is also shameful. Deep Hao nodded to show his agreement. Don't invite alcohol. If you don't drink, you'll crave alcohol. I advise you to go home. I only saw La Feng Thien's cold eyes as his whole body continued to increase. I see you guys don't understand the situation at all. From the moment he attacked Kiam Lam, the meaning of this match changed from victory to interrogation. His body remained motionless, the sky's energy swirled, summoning the space to instantly tear into obscurity. From inside, a low dragon rumble was heard, which was the special noise of the dragon clan. Immediately afterwards, a giant dragon head slowly emerged from this summoning space. Deep Hao looked at the aura in front of him and thought to himself that something was wrong. This aura was so violent. Dong Min Tung was also frightened, cold sweat flowed down. Could this be a level 9 black dragon bloodline dark soldier? Uncle Van Thien laughed. If you continue to cover for that guy, then don't blame us for not being polite. La Feng Thien used 1 against 5 and began to directly summon his strongest star pet, the dark-hearted and dark bloodline 9 Dai. Seeing this, Deep Hao quickly shouted, don't be reckless. Everyone summons their pets. Deep Hao summoned a silver snake and lightning dragon beast, while Yen Din on the side also summoned a phoenix. God of killing La Feng Thien is extremely serious. Do you really think that 5 people together can beat me? As soon as he finished speaking, the Dark Heart instantly launched an attack. Quickly attack all pets once. No pets can resist the second hit. It's all a killer move. Everyone fell into silence for a moment. After just 1 meeting with Fuang Sun, they failed. The strength of the 2 sides is as different as heaven and earth. Fuang Sun students in the stands looked in disbelief. The difference above was unexpectedly so big. Has that black dragon already reached level 9? Kiam Lam's group of people rely on force to be truly contemptuous. And a group of sword lambs all slowly praised. Mr. Feng Thien played well, give them a little more suffering. Let them know the price they pay when they touch us. Tu Lang Wei was also frightened and almost cried out loud. This is no longer a race. Obviously torture to death. The dark dragon in the arena let out a startling growl. Instead, Feng Thien grabbed Deep Hao's head as a show of authority. Seeing this, Dong Min Tung quickly shouted loudly enough. I asked the referee to stop the match immediately, while Chu Van Thien next to me smiled leisurely. Have you forgotten? The referee this time is ours. I'll see how long you can last. Dong Min Tung shouted. I told you, the witness is still in a coma. As soon as they wake up, the truth will be clear, which Phai Non Bak doesn't think is right. Is it helpful to say that? How long did it take my cousin to wake up? Dong Min Tung's face was ugly. If favorable, it should not exceed half a year. After hearing this, Chu Van Thien suddenly lost interest. Students have also changed ages. He is just stalling for time. Phai Non Bak saw this and immediately shouted loudly. Feng Thien sect, please cheer up more. I don't believe that head-retracting turtle named Tu won't come out. Hearing that, La Feng Thien slowly raised his arm to condense his energy. Prepare to attack, but Deep Hao is indomitable and says this is to slander us. Tu Lang Wei saw this and immediately dialed Tu Bin's phone number. Where are you? Tu Bin heard the movement from the opposite side. He immediately said that he understood this situation. We've arrived at the hall. He looked at the group of people being mistreated and felt uninterested. I didn't expect the situation to be so dire. As soon as Dong Min Tung heard Tu Bin's voice, he immediately turned around and shouted. Tu Bin, what are you doing here? Chu Van Thien on the side laughed. He is from the Tu family, so he personally came to help the old man, saving a lot of time. Tu Bin did not react to his sarcasm. He smiled and said to Dong Min Tung, I will walk by here. What are you looking for me for? Dong Min Tung saw his calm expression and felt a bit helpless. Didn't I tell you not to come? Tu Bin smiled all the way. Who told my lovely sister to beg me? Not far away, Tu Lang Wei was looking at Tu Bin with an aggrieved face. But Phai Non Bo's expression changed. It was so funny, he dared to hurt our student like that. Raise your hands to withstand the glare, just finished speaking. He immediately reached out to hold Tu Bin. When Dong Min Tung saw this, he immediately stopped it. This is my territory. You are not allowed to arrest anyone before you have evidence. Phai Non Bak shouted angrily. What do you mean? His hand jerked. Old man, I advise you to obediently hand him over. If he doesn't take action, I'm afraid he won't be able to come out completely dead. Tu Bin heard that and smiled gently. What if I fight? Your students are not good so they lose to me. What's the problem? Phai Non Bak immediately became so angry that he gritted his teeth. Vice Principal Dong advised in a low voice. Stop talking. He's a level 8 gunmaster. You can't provoke him. And Tu Bin nodded. Said he would try to resolve it amicably. Suddenly Chu Van Thien coldly asked. After all, Dai Viam is a strong student of ours. Even if it's a sneak attack, if you don't have strength, you definitely won't have any advantage. What grade are you in? Dong Min Tung explains. He is not a student, but a senior master of our academy. Phai Non Bak suddenly laughed haha. Senior teacher. Are all of them qualified to be senior teachers? Cold light shot out of Chu Van Thien's eyes. Interesting, with level 4 spiritual energy, you can become a high-level master. If it weren't for Phoenix Mountain being irreparably rotten. So you have a great skill. Tu Bin was secretly startled. Unexpectedly, he was testing my strength. However, it seemed like he was only testing his energy. He looked calm and said, You don't need to know what I am. This time I came to give you an explanation. Phai Non Bak couldn't help but laugh out loud. Explain. Level 4 masters can only rely on sneak attacks. What else is there to say? I was just serious. What a waste of expression. Tu Bin suddenly said deeply, Let's bet then. Do you believe that I don't have to confess? I can also make you two bow your heads and admit your mistakes to me. Beg for forgiveness. Phai Non Bak suddenly became angry, cold light shooting out in all directions in his eyes. This kid dares to come here and say crazy things. Bullying is Kiam Lam students, that's all. How dare you insult the vice principal and me? If you have the guts, come down and fight with me. I'll let you know. Is it your strong mouth, or is it my fists? Tu Bin smiled as if there was no problem, but Dong Min Tung's face changed slightly and he quickly stopped. Don't fight. It doesn't matter what the masters of the two schools discuss. But if you lose in front of the students, Tu Bin seriously tells me. If Master Fuang Sun loses to Master Kiam Lam, it means Fuang Sun openly admits that his strength is not as good as Kiam Lam. Failed teachers must also resign. Dong Min Tung's face changed greatly. If you already know, you shouldn't accept the challenge. The honor of the whole school, you alone cannot be responsible. But Tu Bin coldly opened his mouth and interrupted. What if you lose? What do you mean by honor? Many times when Kiam Lam beat you up, you still didn't admit it. Why has Fuang Sun's honor ever been there and why is he afraid of losing it? Tu Bin, in order to give Kiam Lam a satisfactory answer, agreed to compete with their professor. Phai Non Bak heard that the young man was so confident, laughed out loud, and waved his hand politely, saying he could fight somewhere else so students can't see it. At that time, if he lost, it wouldn't be too miserable. Bin heard the provocation, so he mobilized all his strength, turned away without looking back, just replied, "No need. I accept the challenge." At this time, the host, upon being informed, immediately exclaimed in surprise, "Dear spectators, this tournament has been upgraded. This match will be held between teachers." La Feng Thin on the field heard that. Smiling slightly, not knowing whether to live or die, daring to fight, he would recognize the difference between teachers and students, while Dai Viam and the others from Kiam Lam Academy raised their eyebrows excitedly, daring to fight with Teacher Phi. "You're done, son." They didn't expect that young Bin would dare to fight, so they couldn't help but discuss excitedly. Phi Non Bak, who has been a senior teacher for 10 years, how could he lose at the hands of a boy whose nose was not clean yet? Bin is only 18 years old. The senior master of Fuang's son was afraid that it was just a false name. When Lang Wei saw the situation change like that, he held his head in fear. "Why did my brother fight with Master Kiam Lam?" Suddenly, the host shouted loudly, inviting the previous players to leave the field. The entire group of Fuang's son students who had lost the match were quickly lifted up and left the field. Everyone was covered in injuries and was very miserable. A moment later, everyone was injured. The host shouted loudly, "Next is the senior master of the sword, Phi Non Bak, and fighting against him is the senior master of Fuang's son, Bin." Inviting both sides in, Phi Non Bak smiled coldly, opened his mouth, "I will go first," then jumped up from the stands, like a rocket launching straight towards the field. There was a sound of broken rocks and soil. He landed heavily on the battlefield. MC narrates the situation. "The force is so powerful, worthy of a level 8 battle pet master. Just one jump is enough to destroy." Next, Bin was invited to the field, but he was not seen in the stands. Suddenly there was a cry of surprise. In the sky, Teacher Bin was flying in the air. He could only see the energy flowing from Bin's body, carrying his body riding the wind at a height of more than 10 meters. Bin looked down with a calm face. The host's screams echoed on the field. "Unbelievable. Dao Su is standing in the air. Has he already reached the 9th level title?" When Dong Min Tung and Chu Van Thien saw this, everyone sweated profusely. Their eyes were filled with shock. Bin controlled his energy and gently landed on the big yard, standing firmly opposite Phi Non Bak. Phi Non Bak's face was gloomy. Doesn't he only have level 4 energy? La Feng Thien witnessed it before. Dai Viam was beaten to a pulp. Now I understand that it wasn't Bin who acted too quickly, but controlled his energy to attack, which was no need to take action. Lang Wei saw what happened and quickly pinched her face. She never dreamed that she would have a brother with a title. Di Pao raised his head with difficulty and said, "Master Tu, thanks to you." Dai Viam and the others in the stands were terrified. Their faces were unbelievable. Fuang's son had been hiding fake Diem Quang for a long time. It couldn't be. Impossible. Compared to Bin, he knew in his heart that what he was talking about had created a misunderstanding, but who had the time to explain anything? He smiled and said to Phi Non Bak, "Please start." The host saw the two of them ready to face, immediately shouted, inviting the masters of both sides to summon their star pets. Phi Non Bo secretly analyzed, after all, the 20-year-old blonde boy, with at most 10 years of cultivation, probably poured all his thoughts into cultivating his energy, so that he could fly in the wind. So, in terms of combat techniques, of course it was a weakness, unable to compete with my decades of combat experience. He didn't think much more. He shouted loudly and immediately opened the summoning space. The energy vortex expanded from there, along with a resounding roar that made people tremble. A level 8 self-image demon fox boldly stepped onto the field. This self-image demon fox had 8 tails. Its whole body was covered with purple fur. Its body was larger than 10 meters. Each foxtail had scales. Surrounded, it was behind Phi Non Bak, waiting for its master to give orders. The surrounding was filled with majesty. The Fuang Sun students in the stands were extremely surprised. It was a self-image of a level 8 bloodline demon fox. With 8 tails like that, the strategy has reached the upper level of level 8. Looking at this situation, everyone is confused. Some are holding their heads. Some are angry. The Dark Dragon of La Feng theme, level 7, has not been resolved. Even though level 7 and level 8 are only one number apart, their strength is as different as heaven and earth. What's more, this demon fox's self-image is the most ferocious pet beast of the generation. Kiam Lam's brats here, their proud faces widened. Do you know how powerful we are? Kiam Lam is not a vegetarian. Tabin glanced at it. He calmly said, combat power level 8. What a coincidence. I also have a pet beast with level 8 combat power. Tabin raised his hand to pull out the summoning space. Dark red energy poured out from there. Before he could see his figure, he heard a roar. Red fire like from hell poured out from the summoning space. A dragon head appeared. Say hi. Hello everyone. Bright red Longan. Looking forward, when Phai Non Bak saw this, cold sweat flowed. With one glance, he realized that this was a hellish bamboo dragon beast. This type of high-class dragon beast, does the whole Longjiang have a second one? It's all a mystery. It was born with the dragon's prestige, and as soon as it appeared, it performed. Strong pressure immediately covered the entire area, and the Kiam Lam students instantly had sweat on their heads. Dragon's power is so strong that one can feel it with a protective ring on the stands. Dong Min Tung saw this and breathed a sigh of relief. It turns out that Tabin's main pet is the hellish bamboo dragon beast. No wonder this kid dares to be arrogant. Crazy like that. This is existence number 1, number 2 in the dragon system. I was worried too much. Dong Min Tung regained his composure. His face changed slightly. He immediately shouted, increased the protection level of the energy barrier to maximum, and activated level 2 energy protection, energy matrix at the edge of the battlefield. Having a clear increase, it can withstand attacks below level 9. It is specially designed for external protection. Avoiding the teacher's fight, Tabin saw this and smiled slightly. Then I don't need guests to disturb, Phai Non Bak shouted angrily. Don't rejoice too soon. Your bamboo dragon hell beast is indeed very rare. But I can see that it currently only has the lower 8th grade school strategy. The lower class fights the upper class. I don't know whose hand it is that will lead to death. That said, he did not dare to be careless. The energy of his whole body circulated, increasing his strength to level 8, automatically flying to the demon fox's self-image behind him, and the demon fox's self-image was enhanced. In the blink of an eye, the momentum clearly increased. The MC saw this and immediately analyzed the situation. The self-image demon fox was able to resist the dragon's prestige. With the increase in level 8 power, at this time the self-image demon fox, I'm afraid it has entered the level 9. But the host looked at Tabin and still didn't move, clearly expressing his doubts. Doesn't Master Tabin intend to enhance the skills of the Hell Bamboo Dragon Beast? Is this any different from letting Hell's Bamboo Dragon Beast fight twice? When Tabin heard this, he couldn't help but smile. Just like this, it's 1 against 2, right? Phai Non Bak's eyes were cold, and blue veins instantly appeared. Are you looking down on me? The demon fox uses the 8 layers of lightning. This lightning section has a completely different shape. On each of the demon fox's portraits, a long line of lightning condensed. A total of 8 lines, looking like 8 bars of lightning in front of his eyes. Deep Hao was seriously injured and could not get up. Thunderbolt's first layer of lightning has the ability to destroy. The demon fox's self-image is now released into the 8 weights at the same time. This is a level 8 star strength. You are reading the story of the Super Magical Beast Gun Shop. Feel free to give Tom a like because this part took Tom 2 days to complete. Now, let's continue watching. The demon fox's self-image body moved flexibly, suddenly headed towards the neck of Hell's Bamboo Dragon Beast. Bat Trong wants to target its 8 weak points. MC immediately shouted. The demon fox's self-image is broken, blocking all of Teacher Tabin's retreats. How will Master Tabin deal with this? The moment the demon fox self-image's Bat Trong rushed forward, the Hell Bamboo Dragon Beast released its dragon roar, acting like a barrier to repel the demon fox's attack, and also created a terrible sound. A loud explosion rang out, and in the blink of an eye, Phai Non-Bak's face changed dramatically, causing the demon fox to strike again. The afterimage of the multi-thunder shadow is a level 7 secret. At the moment of making the move, the 3 ghost foxes of the highest physical condition, covered in purple, ran forward fiercely, loudly presiding. Each afterimage performed a perfect level 8 lightning attack. Cannot distinguish real from fake. Furthermore, the target of the attack was also the battle pet master. Master Phai Non-Bak truly did not leave any retreat for the opponent. In just a moment, there was a fierce explosion on the field. The MC analyzed whether Teacher Tabin had escaped or not. If he was hit 3 times with this move, I'm afraid even the physical strength of the dragon beast wouldn't be able to stand it. The smoke dissipated after the impact, slowly turning into Tabin's voice. Lei Ying's afterimage, it's so nostalgic, I only see him smiling. But unfortunately, the level of afterimage shadow is not enough for me. The 2 bodies of the demon fox next to Tabin were motionless, because the hellish bamboo dragon beast was brutally biting the body of the demon fox's self-image. With just one glance, he saw through the remnants of the lightning image. Phai Non-Bak's face looked unbelievable. He quickly shouted out the demon fox's self-image. Get out of the way quickly, but the demon fox's self-image is not weak. Its whole body is filled with lightning. Lightning energy is concentrated at the end of its tail, forming several thunderballs. Lightning cannon skills are instantly formed. Tabin discovered a noise coming from behind, quickly turned around to look. At the same time, the thunder cannon exploded. The hell bamboo dragon beast did not choose to avoid it. It still tried to stand there using its body to block the force. The guide opened his eyes wide. The consequences were unimaginable. The little Kiam Lam group suddenly became excited. Explode its dragon mouth. It's still too immature compared to Master Phai. Dong Min Tung couldn't help but angrily bang his hand on the table. As expected, the difference in combat experience is too big. We still shouldn't let Su Bin responded to the battle. Chu Van Thien next to him with a calm expression. Listening to the sound, you knew that the artillery had hit them all. You didn't need to look to know that the victory or defeat of this battle was already decided. As soon as the smoke flew away, Tabin's voice suddenly came from the field. Who said that? But Phai Non-Bak immediately looked towards the 2 pets. His pupils shrank in horror. Hell's bamboo dragon, standing firmly in place, his mouth still gnawing on his wounded demon fox. Purgatory truck long admitted to so many shelling attacks, just like a cow losing hair, a tamarind tree losing its leaves. Only a few minor cracks appeared. On the contrary, the self-image of the demon fox was beaten to death by his own attack. Phai Non-Bak saw this scene and was speechless. At this time, the outside of Truck Long Purgatory was covered with dark gray rocks. The cracks gradually became larger, breaking the dark gray shell, and underneath it, green light gradually appeared. Faced with this sudden change, Phai Non-Bak, momentarily stunned, Nam Jop and Dang Jop, the host, also exclaimed. The hell bamboo dragon beast's feathers were not damaged at all. The dragon's body was already tough, and combined with the defenses of Nam Jop and Dang Jop, it was completely unharmed. Phai Non-Bak angrily clenched his fists. Honestly, his anger was unreasonable. Such a high-class dragon beast forced him to learn many defense skills. Where is the arrogance of the dragon beast? Tabin saw Phai Non-Bak's urgent expression and realized that he knew Tiu Nam Jop of the bamboo dragon beast hell. He opened his mouth and laughed. Are you asking for the dragon clan's arrogance? It was continuously pressured like that by those of a higher level, and could only bow its head and take advantage of its defense skills. The dragon clan is naturally arrogant, but facing many opponents beyond their fighting ability. After all, there is only one life. No one wants to die, right? In the first match, Master Tabin won. The Fuang Sun students in the auditorium threw a resounding axe. The Hell Bamboo Dragon Beast won, easily defeating the level 8 self-image demon fox, and had not yet used his powerful abilities. Transformation of the Master. The changes in Kiam Lam's group's faces were a bit unsightly. Amid the cheers and applause of his school students, Dong Min Tung breathed a sigh of relief. Although he was still a little shaken, it was good to win. It was so dangerous. Fai Non Bak heard the sounds of joy around him. It felt like countless slaps in the face. Han gritted his teeth and took the demon fox's self-image back into the summoning space. A black light suddenly appeared in his eyes. This is just my second pet. If your main pet is a level 9 dragon beast, then I don't have to hold back anymore and mess around with you. As soon as he finished speaking, he suddenly pulled out the summoning space again, the extremely cold breath emanating from inside the block. The pet beast brought cold breath. A snake head slowly walked from inside. Go out. All the cheers disappeared. Fuang Sun students all stared at the pet beast that had just appeared. That's a level 9 abyss demon snake bloodline. Dai Viam and his group were very proud. Old Devil Phi's abyss demon snake had a level 9 strategy. Even if it was a hell bamboo dragon beast, it could not be an opponent. Not to mention going through the previous battle, it must have taken a lot of energy. This time he won for sure. A group of young Kiam Lam shouted loudly. He was at a dead end, told him to go to Master Phi. Leave it to him, our sword lamb is really powerful. At this moment, Tabin frowned and spoke. Could it be that just now, I said, the hell bamboo dragon beast is my pet? Looking closely, as soon as he finished speaking, he conveniently drew out the summoning space, took the hell bamboo dragon beast in, and immediately Tabin pulled out the summoning space. The vortex of energy this time is not large, compared to the space to summon hell dragon beasts. Only 1/10 the size, the MC said doubtfully, just a small crack. Could it be that the star pet is agile? The answer will be revealed soon. In the dark vortex of space, a black bone blade suddenly appeared. The next moment, the new pet stepped out, bringing with it rich dark energy. After absorbing the Marrow King's blood gem, it began to have royal energy surrounding itself. At the same time, the surrounding temperature dropped significantly. The students watching the match above hugged their shoulders, saying in doubt, why did they summon such a weak pet? Could it be that the summoning was wrong? As to Lang Wei muttered, that little Marrow Suang's appearance became very strange. I've never seen such a dry skull. Phi Non Bak shook his head and laughed. This type is mutated by radiation in the wilderness. I've seen it a lot. Is this your gun owner? I can summon you again. Suddenly, the abyss demon snake wrapped around Phi Non Bak's back. At this moment, the internal energy suddenly disappeared. The huge body behind him suddenly became tense, slowly retreating backwards. This is the snake's instinctive reaction when it feels danger. Phi Non Bak also noticed this sudden change. For decades now, the emotion I have felt from the demon's depths has only been the desire to kill. Why do I feel fear now? Where does this fear come from? At this time, the little meddler was only holding the bone knife horizontally, and the surrounding area was slowly filled with black fog. Dense dark energy emanated from its body, like a black fog forming. Then suddenly, the little bone began to pull out the knife, the ghostly scent wafting on his body. Behind him slowly condensed a misty mist illusory shadow dozens of meters large. This illusory shadow resembled the appearance of a king beast. At this moment, the atmosphere on the battlefield seemed to condense. The surroundings only saw that the small bone's illusory image had dissipated, the rolling demonic energy had gradually dissipated, and the demon's head was shaking. Then a crack appeared. Phi Non Bak panicked and didn't understand what was going on. So fast. At some point, the deep silence demon broke out in a pitiful cry of pain. The cracks that were slashed by the little bones suddenly deepened, blood splattered everywhere. Phi Non Bak was instantly stunned and unable to move. At this moment, the host's cry was heard. The level 9 deep silent demon chariot was killed in the blink of an eye. What power does this little skeleton have? Dai Yan's group also fell into depression. Looking at the snake's blood falling on my body, I couldn't say a word. This situation has gone beyond imagination. Tabin slowly reminded, quickly take your precious pet for treatment. Phi Non Bak was startled by Tabin's voice. His face changed. I worked very hard to get a level 9 abyss demon. How could I fail miserably at the hands of a low-level bone marrow? I don't believe it. Tell me, what the hell is it? Tabin smiled. Want to know? Tabin didn't believe it. Chu Van Thien was a bit unclear about the situation. He wondered who these two people were. Just when Dai Viam and his group saw something was wrong and were about to flee, To Lang Nguyen led a group of students. Surround them, To Bin continued to say. Let's talk briefly about that day. The long-haired man thought for a moment and then told the story of that day. Teacher 2, you saved us. But that day after school, those guys attacked us again. When I woke up, I was lying here. Student Kiam Lam also understood when he heard that. At this point, they accepted the fact that they had lost. Tu Lang Wei did not let them go, leading to people pointing fingers at Dai Viam's group. At this time, Chu Van Thien in the stands began to emit strong murderous aura. He slammed his fist on the table and shouted Dai Viam's name. Suddenly, Dai Viam and his group fell to the ground, so scared their legs were weak. Chu Van Thien opened his mouth. I told you that day. As a result of lying to me, Dai Viam's face was ashen as ash and stammered in response. He was expelled from school. His battle pet master's bloodline was cancelled, and he was banned from touching his star pet forever. Chu Van Thien held his fist towards Dong Min Tung and said, Old Dong, I'm not a good teacher. I will take responsibility to the end. I hope you will let this matter go. Kiam Lam and Fuang Sun are forever friends. When Dong Min Tung heard that, he immediately happily agreed. Today, in Fuang Sun's face, anything goes. Suddenly, Tu Bin slowly landed next to him from nowhere. He spoke slowly. Did you forget anything else? Chu Van Thien asked what the person wanted. A rare treasure or a high-class star pet. As long as it's within my ability, I'll satisfy you. Tu Bin smiled friendly and pointed to the ground. I don't need much. Kneel down and admit your mistake. Phai Non back below heard this and was immediately angry. Tu Bin, don't bully people too much. But Tu Bin coldly opened his mouth. You've lost. You're no longer Kiam Lam's master anymore. There's no place for you to talk here. Phai Non back was so angry that he gritted his teeth. He couldn't fight back, he couldn't speak. Dong Min Tung next to him saw that. He quickly went up to reconcile. Teacher Tu didn't have to do that. Tu Bin's face suddenly changed. Of course it's necessary. I want to tell everyone. If you dare to tease Fuang Sun again, you should know what the price will be. And in the stands, Kiam Lam's young men were also shaken to the point of breaking into a cold sweat. I don't even dare to breathe loudly. Furthermore, the relationship between us is not one of friendship, but of submission. We must use good quality resources first. This is the world of the strong. Seeing Tu Bin like this, Chu Van Thien did not say more and simply knelt down. Dong Min Tung saw this scene and was also speechless. He didn't even dare to let Kiam Lam submit to this kind of thing. Chu Van Thien knelt down, and although the entire Kiam Lam school was not willing, they also followed suit. This is exactly what Tu Bin said. His friendliest solution? After that resounding battle, the reputation of the mischievous pet shop, a Station 10, Station 10,500, opened for business. There was a sea of people waiting outside, and a short-haired girl passed by. Looking at the extremely mixed scene is also confusing, right? This store used to be old and run down, but its business is now thriving. Meanwhile, Fuang Sun students were on the side enthusiastically answering. The owner of this shop is a title-level powerhouse. Although the fee is a bit expensive, the training effect is very good. The nurturing period was only half a day, and another student immediately shouted. Don't tell the secret, the more people know, the less we can squeeze in. Tu Bin is currently looking at the training registration book. Sweet thoughts in my heart, this match just wanted to calm things down. Unexpectedly, because of that, the store's reputation is growing. Suddenly, Tu Lang Wei's voice appeared in the crowd. Tu Bin looked up suspiciously. Why are you here? Seeing Tu Lang Nguyen, dressed beautifully, squeezed in, rubbing her hands, blushing and saying, I also want to raise a star pet, isn't that okay? Tu Bin raised his eyebrows, breathed a sigh of relief and made small talk. Just say one sentence, no need to wait in such a long line. Tu Lang Wei looked behind him at a few rows of people and explained, I don't want to be placed in a position because I'm your sister. The girl turned her head and looked at Tu Bin. I want to take the opportunity to become stronger. Tu Bin smiled and took out the registration book to look. Then I want to train a few children. She opened the summoning space and summoned the illusionary flame cat Snowball, which was level 4 a while ago. This is a pet that Tabin wants to raise. Tabin's face remained unchanged. The lower level 4 could reach the upper level, charging thousands of people. Have you ever seen such a good brother? When my sister came to raise a pet, she didn't even give me a discount coupon. I worked for a whole year and only earned more than 30,000. What's the point of raising 100,000 at a time? Quote. As soon as Tabin heard that Talang Wei had no money, he called the next person. He even conveniently picked up the snowball and said, "It should be called coal if it's this black." Talang Wei bowed her head sentimentally. "I didn't bring enough money, I'll come back later." Tabin smiled, "It's okay." As he spoke, he opened the summoning space in his hand and immediately put away the Meow Tuyat ball, and the system immediately issued a warning. Store prices do not change. Special offers are strictly prohibited. Please return Huyan Diem Mu Tuyat cow to the customer immediately. Tabin saw the system being so stereotypical. His eyes suddenly became serious. His heart turned towards the system to answer. "I can pay the money I owe, there is no shortage of money." Of course, everything is still as you want. All that needs to be done is to cultivate stronger star pets. When I work, you can close your eyes and open your eyes. The system faces Tabin's thoughts. I also feel that this time I can't stop him. It's just a simple show. There won't be a next time. Tabin was busy and suddenly said to Talang Wei, "A while ago, I learned a little about your cultivation method. This time, it's like returning the favor to you. We only practiced at home." How did he learn? Besides, before, she thought to herself, hasn't the old brother already reached level 9? Before, I had only learned to cultivate spiritual energy. Tabin is busy with business. Still not forgetting that Long Tru has not yet conquered everything. In the 9th level of the Dragon King inheritance, the Dragon Soul sends out a reminder asking the challenger to learn how to avoid attacks. Under the attack of the Golden Scale Butterfly Dragon Beast, persevere for 10 minutes to clear customs. Dragon Beast's combat power has reached the upper level of level 9. Long Hun's combat experience is very rich. Level 9 Dragon Beast reached its limit. Tabin calmly and naturally smiled lightly. After my combat power reached level 6, I could finally dare to determine some information about high-level star pets. His thoughts quickly turned to Tiu Kot to launch an attack. Tiu Kot Lao immediately rushed out, his eyes radiating fighting spirit, and quickly pulled the frost knife out of his hand. When reaching the desired height, terrifying dark energy radiates from behind. Golden Dragon Beast launches blocking attack skill. In the last minute, Tiu Kot brandished a black blade and fiercely attacked the Golden Dragon Beast's defense. Seeing this, Tabin shouted loudly, "Don't be distracted, support Tiu Kot." Attacking from a dead angle, his hand directly increases the killing power of the pet beasts. A second later, a group of pet beasts all had red light in their eyes and rushed straight towards Kim Lan. The Golden Scale Dragon Beast saw this and emitted intense golden light. Those few rays directly kill them. Their only mission is to bear the blows for Tiu Kot Lao. Thanks to that, Tiu Ko Lao can rush towards Kim Lan Long. A knife hits the dangerous spot. The Golden Unicorn Dragon Beast's body was cut into 2 pieces and it crashed to the ground. Thinking that victory was in hand, Long Soul suddenly had a change. Only to see the fracture begin to emit bright yellow energy. In just a moment, another purple head appeared at the broken spot. The golden-scaled dragon beast entered the second stage. The double-headed dragon beast's level clearly changed to the king beast level. At this time, Long Hun sent out a signal with 7 minutes left. Su Bin had already guessed what was going on, but officially facing the king beast level, he still felt a little pressured. What about phase 2? He snorted again, just in time for me to try. After absorbing the Emperor's bloodline, Tiu Kot's true power, in the blink of an eye, Tiu Merota's entire body emitted demonic energy. Illusory images roared. The next second, the murderous intent of Tiu Merota's entire body was poured out. On the bone knife in his hand. In an instant, a thick dark energy was ejected, turning into a dark demon blade dozens of meters long, aiming at the 2 dragon heads. The moment the 2 sides collided, the entire ancient tower could not bear the energy. Beginning to crumble, the dark magic blade emitted by the Tiu Marrow demon, wherever it swept, only shattered. Even Tiu Kot himself could not stand it. Just after finishing the move, Tabin immediately revived it on the spot, standing on the two heads of the dragon beast. The mighty little Kot Lao stood firm. The sound of the dragon soul rang out, and the Dragon King's trial ended. The system also immediately congratulated. Bamboo Dragon Hell's combat power is level 8, with new external skills. Thien Hong Trong increased to level 5, Grave Gathering skills, armor level. Huyan Diem Beast's combat power increased to level 4, Grave Gathering skills, Dream Dungeon. Choyan Wei Kuyan increased to level 6, advanced to the Dark Dragon Dog. Bloodline increased from level 1 to level 7, Tomb Hunting skills, Long Kai. Tabin couldn't help but be surprised when he saw the announcement. Dog Bloodline. When you level up, the Dark Dragon Dog is a demon-type pet beast. This is a very rare evolutionary process. Only the moon dog's body becomes unusually large and strong, able to carry Tabin on its back. The fur on its head that was previously silver, turned black. After evolution, in the roar of the Dark Dragon Dog, there was a bit of the dragon beast's power. Tabin looked at the brilliant dog and was secretly proud. He was truly my pet. So handsome. After agreeing to help his sister raise pets, Tabin led a group of star pets and went to Long Lan Hoang Dia, facing the ghosts here to practice. Thien Hong haven't used poison. Fiercely assisted, letting the Dark Dragon Kuyan use the attack to destroy the evil beast. No matter how much the two cooperated, they left remnants all over the ground, facing the monsters in front and behind. Under Tabin's calm command, Hell Bamboo Dragon Beast and Huyan Diem Beast were in charge of controlling. After Tiu Kot absorbed Vong Lin King's Blood Pearl Wave, Dragon Land Continent was no longer suitable for it. In normal combat, it is difficult to level up, but for the Black Dragon Dog and Hell Bamboo Dragon Beast, it is just right here. As long as the Illusionary Flame Beast and Thien Hong Chu are on the side to assist, they can be wiped out. Following Tabin's command, he launched a fatal blow, one red and one blue. 2 energy bombardments hit the final boss, and then the system appeared. The Dark Dragon Dog commanded hundreds of soul hunting skills. Increases wide area awareness and smelling ability, whether or not there is a means of reconnaissance. This skill comes at the right time. Later when feeding, you only need to smell a little to know whether the food is good or bad, right? Purgatory Bamboo Dragon Beast also took over the Tomb of Long Crying Mountain, increasing defense, attack and damage, increasing damage according to his own defense. Tabin couldn't help but sigh. Maybe he died too many times so he evolved into Shrinking Turtle. Won't throw away the dignity of the Dragon Clan, right? Illusionary Flame Beast's strategy has increased. In just 6 days it has acquired the Fire Dragon Curl Storm skill, causing continuous outbreaks and burns. Thien Hong Chu's combat power has also increased rapidly. The new ability forces the target to enter nightmares, hit the spirit. Tabin looked at the information and gave the first analysis. A level 8 fire element, the strongest attack range, a level 8 that specializes in mental attacks, can attack people alone, not bad. Dental. A moment later, the system announced that the time at Dragon King's trial site had ended. The next morning, the new pet store opened, and someone was already buying pets or taking back their pets. After receiving their star pet back, everyone was surprised. They all found it hard to believe that they had completed the specialized training in such a short time. Thien Hong Chu and Huyan Diem Beast have now changed their skin, becoming a muscular pink pig and a black Geimer cat. Tabin was also secretly sarcastic in his heart. The ticket to Dragon Vong's gate was estimated to be 2,000, wouldn't that be fast? The secret realm is about to open, so I have to quickly strengthen my strength. Tabin didn't pay attention to them anymore. If you don't believe it, just try it to see the results. Having finished speaking, they immediately wanted to start registering the next customer. The crowd lined up and quickly threw the other 2 people out. Boss 2's training effectiveness has always been like this. There's no need to doubt it. When you're done, leave. Seeing this, Tabin did not stop. The 2 women saw that they were not welcome, so they had to ignore it. but Bin was very happy. Now there's no need to even prove it. Night falls. Boss 2 is busy for a day, completing the specialized training task, rewarding one random magic technique and one level elemental pill. The divine power pill has a question mark in the middle. Appearing in front of him, Bin raised his eyebrows a few times, wanting to see what kind of tactic that was. He directly pressed the receive button in his hand, and in the blink of an eye, the light ball began to emit light like a tornado, slowly showing its shape of a book. Bin reached forward. True Demon Divine Fist. I didn't expect to pull out a single punch. At first he thought it was a knife, sword or something. The moment he touched the book, the light from the book surrounded him, entering his subconscious, and a lot of information appeared. The next second, Bin saw a gloomy scene before his eyes. The ground was full of traces after a long battle. Countless demons crawled on the ground, demons roared and the sky turned black. Countless humans stood on the ground and were picked up by beasts as big as kings and stuffed into their mouths like food. Suddenly, a swirling dark yellow light appeared in the sky, dispelling the darkness of the surrounding drama. The golden light vortex immediately opened up in the center. The golden light shaped like a clenched hand appeared from there. Then gradually appeared a huge body, slamming down onto the ground below. The demons on the ground all drifted out, under the impact of divine power. They instantly turned into ashes, irresistible. Even if you run away, you won't be able to make it in time. Under this power, everything will disappear like water bubbles. Bin was completely shocked when he saw that guy was too strong. The domineering aura of this punch, the invincible power, was engraved deep in his heart. When he had eliminated those swarming demons, the yellow figure crossed his arms and began to speak. True Demon Divine Fist consists of 5 forms. The first form, when it is perfect, can kill level 9 enemies, but when released, it has extreme power, is extremely domineering, and the backlash is also extremely strong. At most, ordinary cultivators can develop up to the second consciousness, and at that point, the body will definitely not be able to withstand the backlash. In the light case, the tendons and bones are broken. In the severe case, the dew breaks and the flesh is broken. Bin just heard about such serious consequences. My heart trembled, fear filled me with desire. The giant's voice rang out again. Only the purest golden umbrella blood. Its strong vitality is enough to eliminate the counterattack of the divine power. Do you want to practice? Bin heard this. He already had the magical bird god demon body. What other technique was more suitable? He smiled and extended his hand forward, accepting the practice. The giant laughed very well. It's been a long time since I've seen someone so straightforward and decisive. Having finished speaking, the golden giant dissipated and turned into a stream of energy flying towards Bin. The energy became a ball of male light that slowly stopped in front of him. In order, the grass consciousness is the demon, the second consciousness is the subjugation demon. After completing the first technique, you can learn the next one in order. The first technique slowly flies into Bin's body. Bin silently analyzed in his heart that the secret place was not like a normal wilderness. There must be masters inside. If I only have small bones to rely on, I'm afraid that in a dual fist that is difficult to defeat, my strength will also need to increase another level to be stable. Can't put too much pressure on dry urine for a long time. After making a decision, Bin decided to close the shop and rest for a few days. All energy is used to practice in the Dragon King lineage. 2 days later, equivalent to half a month in training, Bin's whole body was now covered in wounds. The battle had just ended at the Dragon King's inheritance site. In front of him was a mountain of animal carcasses planted. From here he cultivated the first formula. Suddenly the system notifies that the remaining energy is not enough. Do you want to go back? The wounds on the male lead's body sizzled, smoked a bit, and then disappeared. So fast? It's almost complete for him. Even after losing the golden bird, my demon body has improved quite a bit. Almost reaching the second floor. Hopefully this bit of strength is enough to be used in the secret realm. At Hu Hoang Company Site Number 7, Level 8 for the battle pets of Su Min Lao and Tran Long. Opposite, the captains of the back then team with the same combat power, Tan Kong and Lak Kok Tuyet. When Min Lao and Tran Long asked why they wanted to invite them to join the team, the back then war captain's expression became serious. I'm not hiding anything from you guys. This time they look like a treasure. According to the investigation, there is a super strong ferocious beast like a tiger. Although our back then team has a great reputation, the only people with the strength to enter the secret realm are me, Deep Tran Sun and Tu Tuyet. But in my experience, if you want to ensure safety, you need at least 6 people level 8 or higher. When Min Lao and Tran Long heard that, their eyes immediately flashed. It turned out they had found good goods, but they ate them all alone, so they could offer a good price. Tran Long suddenly stood up. The captain noticed us and would definitely support us with all his strength, but inside the secret area is very dangerous, and we must be careful of others who want to monopolize us. We are not chickens. What blur. If we are successful in getting the treasure, you must let us choose ourselves. Tan Kong heard that and smiled softly. No problem. If we are successful in getting the treasure, let Min Lao choose first, then you, the rest will be divided. Coordinate with victories. In his heart, he secretly thought that the secret treasure did not belong to the person who discovered it, but to the survivor who brought it out. Since there was a hungry worm in the team, there would definitely be unpredictable consequences. Min Lao nodded with satisfaction. He was the commander. It was certain that he chose first. The captain immediately spoke up to explain. Min Lao, you misunderstood. The other two were surprised, looked at him wonderingly, except for Nyat Tan Kong, who has the right to choose the treasure before us. At this moment, Deep Tran Sun brought To Bin into the room to say hello. Captain, Boss To has arrived. The eyes of old Mac and Tran Long suddenly stopped on To Bin, assessing, who is the young man next to Deep Tran Sun. The newly hatched chicks have not yet reached level 6. Tan Kong saw the guests arriving and quickly stood up to welcome them, then opened his mouth to introduce them. Brother To has admired me for a long time. Let me introduce 2 other donors. At this moment, Tran Long's face looked a little unsightly. He frowned and asked Nyat Tan Kong, is this kid the first to pick first? Nyat Tan Kong hugged To Bin's shoulder and praised him. To Winda once killed a level 8 demon marrow beast. Moreover, he is Tran Sun and Kok Toyet's benefactor, so I hope the 2 of you will respect him. Suddenly, a bit of surprise appeared in the 2 people's eyes. How can such a young person do it? Then the 2 looked at each other and said nothing more. There was no doubt that the longtime colonists were still saved by him. Such an amazing record, it's not convenient to discuss it anymore. After arranging, everyone went to the entrance to the secret scene of the Dragon Palace. Led by Nyat Tan Kong, everyone carried things for the long trip. Suddenly Nyat Tan Kong looked at To Bin and said, it's high here so the air is thin. If you can't adapt, just say so, to which To Bin replied indifferently and climbed the stairs tirelessly. I just feel like it's a bit of a waste of time, can't I use my pet to fly up? As soon as Tran Long heard it, he quickly thought that To Bin was talking nonsense. Don't do anything wrong. I don't want to be implicated. Nyat Tan Kong explained that the terrain of the Dragon Tower is very dangerous and can easily cause incidents. If it falls down, the pet must know how to fly to save it, otherwise even level 8 will feel scared. Therefore, there is a rule among the colonists that they are not allowed to fight or summon star pets at the Dragon Palace. Violators will be isolated and even retaliated against. So we should also do it for each other's safety. Nyat Tan Kong is giving instructions. Suddenly, 2 opposing energies appeared behind him. A man and a rich woman on a narrow slope. Fighting with chickens flying and dogs jumping. Punches and kicks alternating, neither side willing to lose to the other side. Seeing this, Su Bin felt a bit upset. Didn't he say this place couldn't fight? Nyat Tan Kong is a bit reluctant. The rules are for ordinary people. They are young masters Kwang Jia and Duang Jia. Looking at this type of fight, Kwang Jia wants to steal Thien Qiu's dragonbone to get first place. In Tang Jia's hands, countless rocks fell towards them due to the fight. Nyat Tan Kong couldn't help but shout loudly, everyone be careful. They fought and implicated us. But Tran Long looked proud. No need to remind. How could this slow falling rock hit us? To Bin jumped up directly, faced the falling large rock, and gave a direct blow. The golden light force from his hand smashed the rock to pieces. He spoke to the people below, smashing these things into pieces. Go. We can avoid it, but others may not be able to. Hearing that, everyone in Bakthan's team also worked together and started clearing away the fallen rocks. In just a moment, the clearing was done. The large rocks that fell were crushed into rubble. Mak Lao and Tran Long were also shocked when they saw that. This young man has very good judgment and command abilities. In just a moment, the whole team's morale increased. Everyone then quickly reached the end of the road. There was a huge square there. A lot of people were standing there. All were colonists. Suddenly an old man shouted loudly. The person in front gave way. My lady wants to jump into the dragon bone. Walking behind, a woman with outstanding charisma and arrogance walked in the middle of the crowd. The person coming was clearly the Duong family. Left and right two old men, very lucky in the world of powerhouses. Probably the upper level of the Wind Pants level 8 and the middle level of the 9th level of the title. The strength of the Duong family's young master, Duong Nhuyen, also reached the upper level of level 9. Having passed through the dragon bone 5 times, he was too familiar with the scene before him, and his expression was indifferent. Suddenly she said coldly, the heart of the heavenly pride is the most precious thing to sit on. It must be something that belongs to our Duong family. Please don't get yourself into trouble. Suddenly a man slowly said, what do you say? Coincidentally, I had just passed the 5th dragon bone, and on the steps there was a group of people coming. In the middle there was a handsome young man, the young master of the Quang family, Quang Thien Thien. He smiled and said, I'm challenging the 6th bone. Don't be quiet when you see the young man appear. His face is cold. I'm sorry, it's still undecided. Do you want to continue? Tin Thu Thien smiled, I just gave in. Don't think it's true. Both sides have gathered their energy and immediately rushed to continue the unfinished battle. From the sky, a thunderous sound spread throughout the square, only to see a figure standing in the air riding the wind, emitting a powerful aura. He slowly opened his mouth. The secret place of Long Dai Mountain had opened. It was not yet time to enter. His voice was calm. He was a sword master, very likely to become a legendary battle pet master. Those war pets wanted to quickly enter the secret realm, but were immediately hit by a blast of energy, cracking the ground under their feet, and seeing the tyrannical crowd roar. The Duong family hasn't spoken yet. Let me see who dares to step forward. As soon as he finished speaking, there were steps that really crossed, completely ignoring his threat, only seeing Tabin's face remain silent. He put his hands in his pockets and slowly walked towards the door. Seeing that that person was fearless, the crowd couldn't help but cry out, who is that, daring to surpass Duong Jia? Is he in a hurry to reincarnate? Faced with Duong Jia's threat, he chose to ignore it. He must have been angry. His eyes were like knives. He shouted at Tabin, do you want to die? Take one of the old man's palms. Immediately, the energy in his hand condensed crazily, coming out of the ground and moving forward. Wherever he went, he shook, turning into a giant hand, hitting Tabin hard. Tabin felt the front moving. To murderous intent. A cold light flashed in his eyes. His whole body's energy was running crazily. Suddenly there was a loud noise. The next moment, a stream of extremely strong energy cut down. The skill of the wind troop, a group of people. Seeing this, I was both startled and scared. It was the sword master's move. A large crack formed in the area that was bombarded, like an abyss with no bottom, an ultimate title-level powerhouse. The ability is terrible. The energy in the sword master's hand slowly dissipates. His expression is cold. If there is any problem, solve it privately. Don't be here casually. Tabin quickly clasped his hands and thanked him. Senior, he was secretly terrified. The sword technique is so powerful. I didn't expect to have such fighting power without relying on star pets. But the sword master looked at him. His eyes slightly moved. No need to thank me. How many ants die has nothing to do with me. I'm only responsible for correcting those who are going the wrong way. Not to mention that blow didn't hurt you at all. Tabin's mouth smiled slightly as if it were nothing, with his current fighting power. Truly not afraid. After this type of attack, after the swordsman left, Bin did not stop. He turned around and entered the secret realm. And the Dronzer had no intention of letting go of Bin. He chased and shouted angrily. Unexpectedly, he looked down on his Dronzer. Don't even try to run away. In a moment, the two of them immediately followed and jumped into the door to open the secret place. In shock and awe towards the Tao Venerable, a group of little oats saw Bin's performance and kept shaking their heads in admiration. If Tao Venerable didn't take action, there probably wouldn't be any dew left to chant. I don't know which team he's on. If you catch them, hand them over to Dronzer. There will definitely be a reward. Nyat Ton Kong in the crowd also felt embarrassed when he heard that. Anyway, Bin did what they wanted to do. But he has never dared before. He is still the same, not afraid of power at all. At this moment, the dragon soul sound inside the dragon pillar turned out. Do you accept my inheritance test? Immediately he smiled. Challenge? In his heart, he thought to himself, while no one is here. Come inside and check out what's different about this training ground test. By the way, try to see what level your strength can reach. On the other side of the door to the secret realm, Duong Nhuyen slowly inquired. Why didn't you reply for so long? There are many teams entering the secret realm. But Dronger's double wind had already been respectfully waiting. Perhaps Fong Quan hastily explained. I couldn't find that boy, but I sent someone to investigate his identity. It was the old man's negligence that let him sneak in just now. Please blame me. Duong Nhuyen patted his shoulder and said. In the past 4 years, the only way out was for me and the Kwong family to get through it. The 5th floor of Long Kot Thap is also the number 1 on the Theme Kiu list, with the second-ranked people being the Liu family and Deep family. Last year, having just passed the 3rd floor, the Long Kot Theme Kiu board can be said to be a symbol of our Duong family's strength. The type of person who has no strength and no background, I'm afraid even reaching the 2nd level will be difficult. No need to pay attention to what he does. The purpose of the trip is to secure the number 1 position on the Heavenly Kiu list. We don't care about anything else. Duong Jiasong Fong quickly said, I will do my best. Help the young lady through the 6th floor. Outside the Long Kot Tower, the lights continuously turn on. From floors 1 to 6, there are lights. The war pets surrounding him were immediately surprised. And to be honest, someone passed the 6th level test and became even brighter. Another floor was attacked, and the 7th floor was also attacked. There are only 2 more floors left to complete. When Duong Nhuyen reached the bottom of the tower, the 8th floor was already lit. In the end, who could have such strength and be able to pass the 8th floor before Dronzer? Not only did he let that rotten brat enter the secret realm first, even the number 1 position on the Long Kot Theme Kiu list was taken by someone, which angered me to death, in everyone's shocked eyes. Suddenly a ray of golden light appeared from the top of Long Kot, the sound of Dragon Soul announcing echoed. The 9th floor had successfully broken through. This Theme Kiu qualified for the inheritance. The remaining challengers were invited to participate in the challenge. Everyone below had a look of horror on their faces. Unexpectedly, it was completely cleared. Even the top of the tower was completely destroyed. But Dronzer and Kwangzhia would not have dared to reach the top level like that. After all, who in Theme Kiu's family could have such strength? It was a shock. The crowd below all rushed into the tower to see the demeanor of the person who broke the virtual world. At the same time, Bin was sent out of the tower addicted to laughter. Is this the power of the magic control magic power? With one punch, the boss in the past mistreated me hundreds of thousands of times, and I was all drunk from smoothies. It was really tyrannical. Religion. Bin secretly thought, what needed to be verified had been verified. This place was no different from the system's training ground. Other people were also successfully attracted to Long Kot Tower. This is a good time to go back and claim the treasure. Immediately after that, he used spirit control to return to his team, but the crowd did not look at the bone tower being cleared, but also commented silently. Even though I came for the treasure this time, witnessing it with my own eyes, someone easily passing 9 floors is an indescribable feeling. Bin secretly returned to the unit and suddenly spoke from behind. Captain, Let's take action, Tan Kong laughed. Come back at the right time, we're looking for you. To which Bin replied. Just went to warm up a bit to warm up. While the others are at Long Cot Tower, let's go too. The two people, Tran Sun and Kok Tuyat, knew Bin's strength, as well as kin, to warm up. Brother to enter the secret realm first, there must have been a reason, wasn't it because he had just gone to the top of Dragonbone Tower? Meanwhile, Mak Lao and Tran Long had unpleasant expressions on their faces, relying on being respected and arbitrarily doing what they wanted. Looking for an opportunity to threaten a little, let him know who is the center of the team. In the secret world, everywhere is desolation and ruins. In the Dragon Scale Continent number 92, the captain quickly commanded and divided. Mr. Min is in charge of the ground. Miss Tiu Tuyat is in charge of investigating the airspace. Both obey orders to summon pets according to their assigned tasks. And Bin also summoned the Dark Dragon Dog, wanting to test the effectiveness of the dog's new skill by the way. Elder Min saw this and was a little unhappy. What do you mean by calling Dark Dragon Dog Bloodline level 7? Exploring the ground, there is my level 9 Dark Bloodline Fire Eye Beast here. Don't you feel secure? Tran Long was also on the side and chimed in. Second, take it back. Your Dark Dragon Dog is that big, it's not suitable for spying. Furthermore, this is a secret scene. It's not a wasteland. Bin doesn't even want to refute Tran Long. He commanded, Dark Dragon Dog. Smell to see if they are here? Following the dog's silent voice, Bin's face suddenly became alert. He immediately knew it. He immediately shouted, Captain, the enemy is approaching. Everyone who heard his words was shocked. Min Lao ordered the dark beast's fire eye to activate his hearing technique. When the skill started, sound waves suddenly rang out, something that could be heard dozens of miles away. Tan Kong saw this and quickly inquired. Why, what kind of enemy? Min Lao's face was shocked. There was no enemy, it was nonsense. Lak Kok Tuyat also indicated that Tan Diem Du had not detected any abnormalities. Tran Long just heard about the proud side. Bin, you want to impress, right? Does anyone believe you? Suddenly the air was slightly distorted. Everyone looked from afar, only to see a few hundred meters ahead, flying out a few windwings. At this moment, fiercely flying closer, the windwings were monsters. 8th level wind element, and even came in a large group of hundreds. Tan Kong couldn't help but scream when he saw that. Damn, this number, the threat level is no less than level 9. There is no way to hide anymore. Everyone is ready to fight. Nyat Tan Kong quickly called out the pet beast, which was a level 9 devil demon beast, shaped like a demonic Buddha. His head was on fire. This demon beast was holding a long stick. The fighting technique that the demon beast possesses is Kun Fap. Tran Long. You call the Great Earth Dragon to protect the battle pet master. The battle pets of the rest of us will be enemies with my demon beast, Min. He called out a level 9 guard. Tran Long's was a level 9 giant earth dragon, considered the strongest level 9 defense pet. Lak Duk Tuyat Saint Diem Du, currently also at level 8. Deep Tran Sun also summoned the level 8 Lan Thuong Tik Tik beast. From the earth giant dragon's immediate defense, he roared and stomped on the ground. The 4 earth hidden guards activated. Several earthen walls rose up, forming a giant block with a diameter of 6 or 7 meters, locking everyone inside, leaving only war pets outside. But Lak Kok Tuyat suddenly said, Wait, darkness. Why hasn't Master Tu's dragon dog come in yet? Tran Long snorted in disdain. There are 2 level 9 strategists outside. The black dragon dog just needs to not be like its owner, being a slave who likes to take the lead. It will definitely be fine. Lak Kok Tuyat was dissatisfied. Said, No, that herd of windwings is too crowded. There's nowhere to hide. Bring it in. Tran Long's face was a bit unsightly. What if he opened the door of the great treasure and Fong Wing Tan took advantage of the opportunity to enter? For a level 7 star pet, is it worth the risk? Deep Tran Sun suddenly spoke up. Well, the dark dragon dog is the first species to detect danger, not to mention Talao Ban is our benefactor. His star pet cannot be careless. Lan Thuong's beast. I will provide support. Please open Earth Treasure to protect you. But Bin calmly interrupted and said, there's no need. I accept everyone's good intentions, don't worry. Even though my dog is just an untamed dog, it still has some fighting ability, more or less. Killing the leader of that group, no matter how loud it is just a bunch of mobs. As soon as Tranlong heard it, he was a little unhappy. Suddenly old Min patted him on the shoulder. He only had a mouth. The dark dragon dog only had a level 7 bloodline. Standing in front of a group of level 9 bats, all he had left was a belt. Immediately Lao Ming gave an order, and the mean heap beast used stealth, while Lak Kok Tuyat on the side was a bit startled. This was a pet skill that effectively hid himself. The moment it was cast, the Earth Organ Guardian also disappeared in place. The walls became transparent, allowing one to observe the battlefield outside from the inside. The demon beast in front of the river entered the beasts, using his hand like a stick to attack them. His strength was extremely strong. The remaining pet beasts were also nearby to support. Using all the skills he had, fending off wave after wave, Fong Duk Tan's previously neat and orderly ensemble now turned into chaos. Deep Tran Sun and Lak Kok Tuyat discovered that Tabin's black dragon dog had disappeared. Immediately after that, Deep Tran Sun squinted his eyes and looked further away, finding a point of light flashing back and forth among the bats. Lak Kok Tuyat opened her eyes wide and looked in the direction Tran Sun pointed. Was that a dark dragon dog? It was in the middle of something, like a green cage protecting it inside, like a tiger lost in a flock of sheep, in the middle of a herd of windwings, and tried to bite and tear. The windwing sound formation was completely destroyed. Everyone looked surprised. A level 7 pet beast could roam around in a group of level 9 windwings, but he called that just a little bit of fighting power? At this time, the leader of the group, Tan Fong, had a level 8 strategy, just when the black dragon dog was happily playing with its group. Swinging his giant tail, he suddenly swung down from one side, aiming at the dark dragon dog, wanting to use his tail to kill it. The bats next to him were thrown far away by the power of the Bat King's tail. Everyone seemed worried. With this trick, I'm afraid the black dragon dog will have more or less good health. As soon as the smoke cleared, only the dog could be seen under the protection of several shields, unharmed. Tranlong and Min Lao were a bit scared. Its defense was too terrible, feeling even harder than their own giant dragon. The dark dragon dog suddenly bent down to gain momentum, and suddenly began to exert its strength. The next second, the black dragon dog jumped high. Its claws scraped across the windwings, hitting the wing shell of the leader. But I couldn't see anything more than a few scratches. Tranlong immediately explained in his heart that the move only scratched a little skin. So this black dragon dog's ability was only inclined towards defense. No wonder. The shell is so hard. My great earth dragon at least has attack skills. As soon as he finished thinking, he saw the lead bat, a mouthful of blood spewing out, freely falling from the air to the ground, in just a moment, convulsing and then foaming at the mouth in pain, from where the high marks had just been. Constantly bubbling, is a strong toxicity, making it unable to move. The two of Min Lao instantly went crazy. Damn, I didn't expect them to be poisonous, not to mention the armor and boots. And the claws on them were moving. This dog was too ghostly. At the same time, the dark dragon dog moved again. It would not miss this opportunity to end it. The next second, the sharp claw broke the leader's neck, followed by blood spurting from the cut. Whether he wanted it or not, it would end a fall. And Tabin saw it and smiled slightly. There are so many scarier monsters in the Dragon King's land. These little shrimps. The dark dragon dog alone can handle them all. Tabin was in a hurry and immediately signaled the dragon dog to stop playing. The dark dragon dog immediately let out a dragon roar. The remaining group of windwings felt the dragon roar's impact, saw that something was wrong, worried in all four directions. Everyone ran for their lives. The sunlight came out. Out of the gray clouds, everyone was happy and cheering. No one was injured. This dark dragon dog is so powerful. At this time, Tran Long said a little awkwardly, Brother Tu, your dark dragon dog is truly top-notch. Tabin calmly replied, It's okay, average qualifications. Elder Min laughed when he heard that. Brother Tu, you're so humble. If a dark dragon dog only has average qualifications, then it's my favorite beast. Aren't we all low class? Tabin curiously used the appraisal technique. The aptitude required the fire eye of the dark beast, and the aptitude was truly below the lowest level. Tabin saw this and secretly sarcastically said, "Old man, what do you think? This is so classy. Is it too self-indulgent? This is." Suddenly, the dark dragon dog returned with a string of young eggs in its mouth. The egg was attached to something like an umbilical cord. It pulled it in front of Tabin and then released it to the ground. Looking at the dark dragon dog's appearance of eating like a hungry tiger, Tran Long and Vin Lao were a little envious. These symptoms had not yet formed, absorbing all the nutrients from the mother. Inside were all the essence of vitality. "It is indeed a tonic for pets," Tabin suddenly said with a scale. "This material can create invisible paint. The market price is not low. If you need it, you can bring both Lao Min and Tran Long to take a look." Each other, or because they caused trouble for us, they proactively shared the spoils. His strength is unpredictable. It's better not to confront him. Take advantage of this opportunity to shake hands and make peace. The two of them thought so, hugged their fists and bowed their heads and said, "Thank you, brother too. Then we won't be polite anymore. If there's anything in the future, please let us know." After finishing the matter, Nyat Tan Kong took out a yellowed ancient map from his chest. His eyes quickly turned, he raised his hand and pointed at a point, heading towards the northeast. "There is a cave here. This is the destination of the trip. It is estimated that we can arrive early tomorrow morning." Tabin is on the side silently thinking. "I have also seen the location of the treasure on this drawing in the Lam Vong inheritance, but this continent has a few more blocks. Why does this drawing only mark one place?" Tabin immediately asked. "Captain, did you draw this drawing yourself?" Nyat Tan Kong said. "This is from the hands of a friend. It took a lot of money to get it." "Brother Su, do you have any questions?" Tabin nodded. "I'm just curious. It's a large area, there's only this one treasure. There's something strange." The team leader and Tran Long were happy to hear about it. "Who's the quickest to find treasures in this secret world?" It's not strange. When this map was created, Tabin didn't speak up when he heard that. The next day everyone arrived in front of a cave. Outside were high cliffs standing like a valley, black as ink, absorbing all the outside light, the sound of wind blowing from inside the cave. It sounded like a demon crying. It was so scary. Tabin quickly glanced once. Thinking about the situation here in his mind, everything quickly appeared. Immediately, Tabin raised his hand and spoke slowly. "Wait, don't go in there. There is a level 9 ferocious beast in this cave." Nyat Tan Kong has no doubts. "Brother too, we haven't gone inside yet." "How do you know?" Tabin thought in his heart. "Of course it's because I'm here, right? Even though I just entered Dragon Bone Tower, I'm not yet able to remember everything, but at least I know where there are monsters." Immediately he smiled. Wasn't Long Kuyan's dark feeling enough to reassure everyone? Nyat Tan did not rub his chin in recognition. "That's right, before, we only relied on the black dragon dog. Just discovered Fong Duk Tan. Having you here is like getting a recharge card." Lak Kok Tuyat next to him felt the pressure increasing. The Fong Duk Tan flood had been repelled before. Although the general strategy has level 9, if you play each card individually, there are only strategies from level 7 to level 8. The environment in the cave is unknown, and inside is hidden a level 9 beast. Min Lao next to him also chimed in and said, "This seems to increase the difficulty of the game. Even if we have a strong pet like Sus. Dude, I'm afraid it's hard to beat a snake's head." Nyat Tan Kong suddenly burst into laughter. "How about beating a snake's head? We'll lure the snake out of the cave." Tran Long and Deep Tran Sun immediately opened the summoning space. "It makes sense, we make a trap outside the cave entrance. As long as the beast inside appears, knock it down." Tran Long immediately understood. He shouted directly towards the earth giant dragon. The next second, geodynamic magic immediately started, creating a stone trap that immediately sucked up all the surrounding rock and soil. Creating a supergiant globe, Saint Diemdu also followed Lak Kok Toyat's command and let out a long scream. Immediately I saw my whole body surrounded by fire, wanting to envelop the stone balls, turning them into giant donkey balls. Elder Min saw that the trap was well arranged, and immediately signaled the earth fire trap beast to use the stealth technique to hide the pet beast of Deep Tran Sun and Tran Long, letting it ambush on both sides of the cave. After completing the arrangement, Deep Tran Sun confidently said, "Captain, we have ambushed, just wait for it to appear." Tan Kong's eyes showed impatience. "I don't want to wait anymore, I will go in and let him." "It comes out." Tran Sun was surprised and said, "Captain, are you crazy? That's too dangerous." Nyat Tan Kong turned around and said, "Have you forgotten? I have a level 9 demon beast next to me, don't worry, just wait." "Forever. I wonder if there are really level 9 monsters inside? I'm afraid the night will be too long." Deep Tran Sun still wanted to stop, but Tabin gently said, "Don't worry, I'll go too." Nyat Tan Kong saw that he was preparing to meet a level 9 war beast, and Tabin was still willing to take risks with him. He felt his chest heat up. "Brother Su, if you're here, I'll have less to worry about." Tabin followed Nyat Tan Kong inside. Gradually, Nyat Tan disappeared from everyone's sight and did not turn back to speak. "Brother Su, the anger in the cave is getting more and more intense. Your energy is not yet strong enough to resist the poison. Or just wait for me outside, besides you get to choose the treasure first." "There's no need to take risks." Tabin shook his head. "Don't worry, I'm wearing primitive armor, poison level 8 and below can't hurt me." Immediately he said seriously, "But Captain, I heard that this time when you cut this security guard, you gave up all 3 times and 7 rounds of choosing the first security guard. Now you choose to do the most dangerous job. I know you're not the one. Are such carefree people." Immediately, Tabin's entire body was energized and he entered a fighting state. "While there's no one here to talk, can you tell me what this is all about?" Nyat Tan smiled and explained, there was nothing that could be hidden from him. "In this cave, there is a crystal star tree. The star spirit fruit grown on this tree can cause battle pets of level 9 and below to change significantly, even breaking through to the next realm. A rare treasure in the world, I will get it before anyone else." Upon hearing this, Tabin immediately dissipated his hostility. What he said was, "You missed the opportunity to prioritize treasures and took the risk of rushing into a dangerous place, just to get the spirit tree?" Nyat Tan Kong nodded. "That's right, Brother Su, don't ask about this secret. I must get this spirit tree." He immediately remembered the person lying on the bed and couldn't get up. He blamed himself and became even more determined. Suddenly Nyat Tan Kong's serious voice carried a warning. "If you also want to take that tree, even if you are Tran Sun and Tu Toyot's benefactor, don't blame me for not being polite." In his heart, Tabin secretly thought, it turns out he just wanted the spirit fruit, which was not much different from the divine power pill given by the system. A treasure is generally common, but it is very important to him. It seems like he's not a bad person. I don't want a chicken with ripe spurs or a horse with red fur, so just give him a hand. Tabin didn't hide anything, saying he wasn't interested, but wanted to remind him that the demon beast living here was a top level 9A long insect named Viam Lan Blood Gal. It is very cunning, and very good at mental attacks. If he went straight in to get the fruit, there was a high chance he would register. Nyat Tan Kong's face suddenly changed color and he looked at Tabin in surprise. Level 9 is the best, and is also best at complex mental attacks. How do you know that? How many secrets do you have left? And Tabin smiled, there are some secrets you shouldn't ask. In short, if you want to get the fruit, follow me. Tabin suddenly punched the nearby cliff, revealing an empty space with an object placed on top. It looked completely normal, but Nyat Tan Kong noticed it and spoke up in surprise. How do you know there are soul-shattering lights here? Its light can resist most mental attacks. Tabin smiled and replied, that is also a secret. In his heart he thought, of course it's because I came here. Such a powerful treasure can only be used in the Dragon King inheritance, but I can't take it back. I want it to death. Tabin directly took the lampstand, turned around and said, let's go. With this light, we can now go get the fruit. Just finished speaking. The cave immediately changed, the entire cave shook, and the two people's faces changed. Something was coming. Suddenly Tabin discovered something was wrong. As if it wasn't planning on attacking us. At the same time, inside the canyon, a 100 meters long snake appeared. Its entire body covered with dark red scales from head to tail. Each ball of earth weighs more than 10,000 pounds above the canyon, hovering waiting for it to arrive. Faced with a level 9 blood-fed VM beast that suddenly appeared, after realizing that it was a ferocious beast that needed to be dealt with, Tran Long immediately shouted loudly. At this moment, the Great Earth Beast, Lac Thatch, and Min Lao also ordered the sickle guards to ambush on one side to attack. As soon as he finished speaking, the prepared trap rushed towards the bloody flame and rushed towards it. The guard also quickly attacked from the side, the two upper blades cutting through the air, creating two sharp streams of energy, aimed at the eyes and nose of VM Lan's blood spear. Yan Lan's blood was injured and he suddenly used his tail to smash the sickle guard to death. The two swords in his hand made crazy moves. Very quickly, the sickle guard jumped up with red eyes, cut off the tail of VM Lan's blood, and then rushed out to slash the beast's neck. In a second, a terrible scream came out, green blood just spurted out, and the head and body were already saying goodbye. At that moment, Tan Kong and Tabin finally arrived. Tabin saw the situation outside and immediately stopped Tan Kong, while Deep Tran Sun and his group's eyes glowed with strange red light and shouted loudly. Captain, it's successful. Hey look, we've killed it. Nyat Tan Kong's face is a bit stiff, but Tabin's face is gloomy. Damn, is he still one step late? I only saw Lan Thuong enjoying the old Earth Dragon's battle formation just now, but now he was crushed to death by his own rock. Each animal was in a motionless corner. Nyat Tan Kong and Tabin, thanks to the light of the lamp, could see the truth that the pet animals had killed each other. What are you guys doing? Tran Long looked smug and said, Captain, what are you talking about? Didn't we successfully kill the level 9 ferocious beast? At the same time, the vigilant guard was behind everyone, with a knife.